Hello, my name's George English. I'm the Director of Research Through People. I finally found this old record of my ancestor, but I can't read it. It's a common complaint with old documents and old handwriting. Much of genealogy is about the expertise to find old ancestor records, and new ones for that matter as well. There are three factors. Did your ancestor do something that caused someone to record it? Secondly, has it survived? And thirdly, can you find it? And with old records, the answer is less in all three cases. As less was recorded, there's a less chance of it having survived, and it's harder to find in most cases. And then there's the ability to read it, because in the past, handwriting was different. The letters very often were different. There was a lot of illiteracy. So all of those factors work against you, and very often luck can play a part in that. So I thought, rather than go into depth, I'd just tell you a wee story from the past to illustrate this. Now, Philip Delano was born in Leiden in Holland in 1602 and went to New England on the Fortune in 1621, the year after the Mayflower. And the earliest known record of his family is the 1575 baptism of his father Jean de Lannoy in the church of St. Christopher, Tourcoing, then in French-speaking Flanders. But this wasn't finally found until just a few years ago. The first baptismal register for St. Christopher from 1573 to 77, which included Jean's baptism, was only discovered stashed away in the church tower in 1897. Back in 1578, Catholic troops broke into St. Christopher, and it's thought that the registers were hidden then. Now, in 1899, a remarkable genealogy and history of the Delano family was published. Unfortunately, Mortimer Delano had contacted the Tourcoing archives just 2 years before the register was found in 1895, and so did not come across the register. I went to the archives of the Department of Law in 2004. Something I've learned to do in my career is to build relationships. So Michel van Gelderve, in charge of conservation, kindly showed me around and helped me to choose what I would look at. Another setback. The records, which included the 1573 to 77 baptismal register, had been wrongly labelled as from 1590 to 1800, so we did not select them. Now, over the next year, I discovered that the Director of Tourism for Lille was Jean de Lannoy. So having made contact and discussed our possible shared ancestry, we met at Jean's house during my 2005 visit. We set off for the meeting with Michel van Gelderve at the archives which Jean had kindly set up. But more bad luck. Michel's mother had died and the meeting had to be cancelled. The consolation was that Jean took me home, where his wife Simone had cooked a most delicious lunch, washed down by a very nice Burgundy wine. So we had to wait until 2007 for Jeremy Bangs to, fortunately for some reason, ignore the wrong labelling on the register and find Jean's baptism entry. Can you read this? If not, you're like most other people. So we got very difficult to read handwriting. In fact, good handwriting, but for the age, very different from now. The letters are different. And of course, this is in French as well. Well, anyway, let's make it easier. Because Jeremy Bangs also struggled with this. So the story wasn't over. And it took me to use a relationship I built with one of the archivists, Laurent Delceau, to finally decipher the full entry. And here's what it says in French. Ninth of name Jean or Jean, the L'enfant Gilbert, let's do it in English, it's easier, isn't it? So what it actually says is on the 9th of May 1575, the child of Gilbert de Lannoy, Verdeker, and the godparents, godfather Jean Christian, godmother Marie Bouche. The P in French is godfather, M is godmother. Now we know it's the right record because we knew from other records in Holland that Jean's father was Gilbert. He married in 1596, so 1575, he'd be age 21, and we knew that they were from Tourcoing. So we knew we had the right record. Again, very important to check that sort of thing. And so we have this record over 400 years ago showing Jean de Lannoy. Now what was crucial, Verdeker is in fact a district. That was a word that Jeremy Bang struggled with. Verdeker was a district on the west side of Tourcoing. So in fact, uniquely, there was very few people on pilgrims on the Mayflower where their grandparents are known and exactly where they came from. So a unique thing about the de Lannoys. Now, a final irony. In fact, in 2005, José Barbieux, the curator of the Tourcoing Centre for Local History, again was very helpful to me. And he'd shown me round old places in Tourcoing, including St Christopher's, and we went to the tower in St Christopher's and he showed me exactly where the registers had been hidden before being found in 1897. So here's Jose in the tower where the registers were found. But again, luck played a part because neither of us realised the significance that those baptism registers contained Jean's baptism record. So, the de Lannoys are not only affected by history because the soldiers and the hiding of the documents affected them being hidden away, but also that's why it took so long to find them. And that's the thing about family history. You never know what you're going to find. Your ancestors may have stayed in one place for many generations, experiencing the changes taking place all around them, or they may have migrated to another area or even country, like the de Lannoys. Whatever, they will have an interesting story to tell. So if you'd like us to help you, please get in touch. The contact details are there.